Hi everybody, this is Odd Samurai, and today I'm going to be reacting to Fate Strange Fake episode 13. Also, yes, I got a haircut, big image change. I like it, and if you don't, please keep it to yourself. So, I do wish it was a little bit, less short here on the sides, but it'll grow, so it's whatever. So anyway, last episode, we got everyone still stuck inside Mr. Black's reality marble / bounded field. No one really fully knows what it is. And apparently Mr. Black is the Horseman of Death. Which is like, okay, sure. There's definitely no rule that says a biblical figure cannot be summoned as a heroic spirit. I'm just like, how did that happen? Because if they didn't have a historic relic, a catalyst, then that means it was the most suited for Tsubaki's personality, which is very interesting. But yeah, Jester pushed her in the wrong direction, because right now she was in the, I just want to be a kid, I want to have my parents that just love me and care about me. I mean, her parents still have all of their thoughts and just very selfish and self-serving ideas, but they are forced here to actually not do anything about them, which is, I understand why she wouldn't want to leave this place. So while I saw it coming, it still sucks that her parents are mages through and through, just experimenting on their daughter and making her endure this bacteria to beat the Matos in their own game. Like, good lord, that's messed up. Is that the same methods that the Mato use, but it's in a similar realm. I still can't figure out what the figure this I don't know if it's a heroic spirit, Zhao, who they are, why they want to protect Tsubaki, but it seems to me like they can be trusted. At the very least, they seem to care for Tsubaki's well-being in a way that is not self-serving. I could be wrong, but that's how it seems like to me. I do wonder what they were gonna say to Tsubaki before Sigma showed up. But hey, they seem to find Sigma trustworthy enough to give him the, what was it, like a crossbow? Okay, Chekhov's crossbow. And I feel like the flashback we saw at the beginning of the episode with the kid calling him a close friend and him being like, I can't even laugh at that joke. I feel like that's definitely going to be relevant to how this whole thing with Tsubaki gets resolved, because Sigma is definitely going to be playing a big part. For one, it'll show how much he's changed from those days. But also how just, Tsubaki is basically like that kid. And Sigma is as well, but the difference is that Sigma wasn't able to see why it was so wrong to be used as a weapon that just follows orders. And here Tsubaki doesn't really see what her parents are doing as something heinous, but it's something that she has to endure. And then they love her. That's why when Jester pushes her to be like, well, what do you want to do? And she's like, well, what my parents want me to be is a mage. And despite everything that they've done, she still wants to make them happy. Which I feel like we may come to a point where it's like, you don't have to think about their happiness. You should think about your own. They failed you as parents. It's not about them, it's about you. But yeah, I also really like the ending scene. Well, not, rather, before the ending scene. With Ayaka and Richard. And I feel like once we get the full context of who this Ayaka is, it'll hit even more when she tells the little Red Riding Hood, like, what is it? You can kill me, you can curse me. I'm sure you have the right to do so. I am afraid of you, but right now I'm more scared of running away from Saber. Again, we have, bits and pieces, but we don't really know from, like, her own point of view what exactly happened. But for now, I'm taking this as, like, Ayaka seeing this little Red Riding Hood as a representation of her past self. All the times that she's chosen to run away. Because she's deemed it way safer than actually confronting the very painful truths and people and parts of herself. But not anymore. Just like refusing to be Richard's master. It's a way of running away. Ayaka is tired of that. She actually wants to be active and take action. Doesn't matter if she dies giving all of her mana to Richard. It'll be because she wanted to fight alongside him. Instead of just hiding away somewhere and pretending like this doesn't have anything to do with her. And while I am a little sad that Richard responds with, I can't answer your call, because right now I don't have any desire, any reason to risk my life or chivalry, nor trample upon other people's wishes to obtain the Holy Grail. And you can see the way that this is directed, that just puts a line between Ayaka and Richard. That's why he doesn't take care of himself and just puts Ayaka as utmost priority. Because he doesn't really have anything to fight for, except for her. And I love the way she responds. I don't care the reason for you to go for the Holy Grail. I just want you to be the heroic knight that you've been with for me. And just go on and fight. Because I want to fight with you. Yeah, the wish can be anything. Same with like, you don't need a reason to live. Anything can be a reason to live. Which I really like, especially coming from Ayaka, who has a very low view of herself, and just I feel like is using Richard a little bit to save herself in a way, but at the same time she does care for Richard and doesn't like the way that he puts himself down because of his past or because of whatever role he thinks he must fulfill. For her, it's just a lot more simple. And, it doesn't need to be any more complicated. That's why Ayaka is, it's a reason why she's so dear to him. But anyway, I've been yapping. Let's get to the last episode of this season of Fate's Strange Fake. Let's hope we don't have to wait too much for the next one. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah, this too. Ooh. Yo, the character acting. Ooh. That's something Kiritsugu would do. The minority over the majority. You could say that, but it's also her own will that make her stronger. Oh. Well, all right. Oh, no. Yo, it's a king's banquet. Oh my god, I'm just like Richard right now. My god. We were. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo, we're getting this reanimated. It's a memory. He recognizes Artoria? Yes! Ah! Holy shit, we're seeing more of the fourth Holy Grail War? Oh my goodness! And Richard is seeing this. Oh my. Oh. Oh. The end of the war. uh, I'm still wet. I'm I'm stuck on that whole sequence. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that voice. Oh my god, who is it? Huh. I don't recognize him. But I feel like I. Mm. He has a cool design. Oh, so I like the disrespect. Oh my god, we're back. Oh. Oh? Oh, go ahead, Richard. Sure. Wow, this is really pretty. Uh, this. How? That's one way to spell that. Mm. Ooh. The music. Oh, this is so epic. Yo, let me raise the volume. Oh, cinema. What am I looking at? Is that death? Mm. Whoa, yo, the scale of this. Oh no, we lost the connection with Weaver. Oh, John. Richard. Something like that. Oh. Okay. So cool. Where did they get the parachutes? Uh, oh, wow. It only motivated him further. It was a push he needed. I really wish Artoria could hear this. Wow. This is so pretty. Mm. Oh. Oh, her expression. Oh. No. Oh. Oh. Yo, Sigma, kill them. They need to die. Go ahead. Yep. Mm-hmm. You, yo, what's your deal? No, don't interrupt him. Flat. No, 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 no. This is not happening. This is not happening. This is not happening. Oh man. I I right now, like, I'm like trying to fight with myself of like the cope of like Flat is not dead to like, but this is fate. Characters do die, especially during Holy Grail wars, left and right. But I don't know. What the fuck? Why? How can they end the season like this? The first bullet, I was like, okay, he can still recover from this. But the way he started talking, I was like, oh, I don't know. But then he got shot in the head as he apologizes to Jack. And then it looks like he just keeps getting shot over and over. Then again, maybe he can be saved? Since Ayaka has like unimaginable amounts of mana? Maybe? You know, it's not impossible. But I don't know. I really want to talk about other stuff in the episode, especially Richard and you know, looking at the things that happened in the Fourth Holy Grail War. But oh my god, what? I just know that Waver's reaction is gonna emotionally destroy me. Especially if he stays dead. Oh, what? Like, you can't do this, right? Flat. We were just starting to getting to know him well. And you know what makes him who he is. But then again, it's fate. His character arc could be getting cut short, but just the way that I don't know. If he is dead, what will happen to Jack? Will he just, you know, go back to the Throne of Heroes right away? I don't wanna believe it. Oh my god, give me a second. So right now I don't even care that Fletch was gonna say what Ayaka is. I just want him to be okay, that's all. I don't think that's too much to ask. He's easily one of the best, well, one of my favorite characters from Strange Fake now, and what do you mean? This is how he leaves the story. this. I know. I refuse. But like there's nothing more I can say or do until we get more episodes. Wow, so Valdeos get rid of him, huh? A cause of stress. Am I forgetting something? What did Fleck do that was causing so much trouble for Valdeus specifically? Also, I'm assuming it's another dead apostle. Granted, he says it seems like Vlad Skardas has met his end. So he's not sure, so I'm not taking his word as confirmation. Maybe even Richard with his magecraft noble phantasm could do something. I don't know. Okay, let me try and talk about something else. So it does seem like Sigma killed both of Tsubaki's parents, which I'm really glad for. I wish we could have seen it, but at the very least, it's done. Oh my god. It happened. It did not happen soon enough. And yeah, it seems like he was remembering his mother. But like, I don't remember if we know that Sigma ever met her. What you need to eradicate are the ones who are trying to plunder from us. Now we don't know exactly if Francesca lied to Sigma about whether his mom assisted someone in a past Holy Grail war. But, you know, I do think there's a resemblance between that person who I'm assuming is his mother. She kind of looks like a young Maya from Fate Zero. I could be wrong, but that's who she looks like to me. I do wonder if we're ever gonna find out who, the name of Sigma's mom. But if it's not, then I feel like the parallel that we made between Sigma and Kiritsugu at the beginning of the episode. Where I think Jester, or maybe it wasn't at the beginning, but Jester says at some point, like, if that mercenary truly wants to be a hero, a hero who protects humanity will choose that path without a doubt. Because sacrificing one little girl will give salvation to everyone else. And that was Kiritsugu's worldview. And he had to learn in a very callous way that you know, that path doesn't lead to any happiness. But as we saw with the way that Sigma reacted to Tsubaki choosing everyone else over herself, that Sigma does not fall into that mentality. He did want Tsubaki to be saved. It might be because, you know, of a selfish reason, which is, I wish someone had done that for me when I was her age, but also there's just something saying this that just tells him internally that this is all wrong. Yeah, he remembers this. What you need to eradicate are the ones who are trying to plunder from us. And that's when he's like, oh, it's you guys. And declares war against the Kuruokas. Not as a mage or a spellcaster, but as himself. Because this means something to him from a very personal level. Because just the way that Tsubaki is being treated as just a body to be used for war is just way too similar to his own situation. And he doesn't want that to be repeated, and if he can help it. Even if it would make a big number of people unhappy, Sigma will still choose to help the little girl. I really like that. But yeah, there's so much to the sequence of Richard seeing the fourth Holy Grail War. And I did notice, it's been a minute since I fully rewatched Fate Zero, but I swear the dialogue that we get here between the three kings is not exactly the same as in that episode from Fate Zero. Just the way that Iskander and Gilgamesh disagree and dismiss Artoria's wish feels a lot more harsh in the original, I feel like. I mean, at some point Iskander says, like, I don't even consider you a king anymore. You're just like a girl who was forced to be one, but you don't embody what a king is. I'm paraphrasing, but I remember something like that. I do wonder what Gilgamesh meant here when he said that a way of life will someday raise you from a human into the realm of gods. And then we don't really get a follow-up. And like, I don't remember him saying that line. He could have, you know, in the original episode. But I don't remember for what reason he said it, I guess, if that is the case. Seeking a path of divine righteousness ultimately brings about a calling of the people. And that's when we end the scene. And then we get a flash of Artoria arguing with Kiritsu over the, you know, being noble in a time of war. And then her fight against Lancelot. And then her being commanded to destroy the Holy Grail. And what that led to. And it's very interesting how Richard reacts. Thank you for giving me an indirect rendition of a new epic tale of the great King of Knights. Yeah, and like, he wasn't, like, how did he know that Artoria or King Arthur wasn't a man? You know? Is it from that guy that he met in his past when we saw Ayaka's dream? He was like a mage, but not quite, and he talked about the future. And yeah, he knew everything about the legend. How the king is betrayed, how she's irrational, and how she loses everything in the end. But my admiration stems from the entire package, including all of that. Yeah, I was like, granted, he didn't know what Artoria's wish was during the Holy Grail War. Not once, but I'm pretty sure twice. Though she wasn't, at least from my opinion, as adamant about talking about her wish during Fate's Stay night. But it was the same. But I do like that Richard actually understands Saber, Artoria. And even more interesting is that he sees the other two kings as not having denied her. The King of Conquerors was simply angry. And then he talks about like, oh, depending on the times, the feelings of people and subjects can easily vary. This is why that question does not have a right answer. Which is honestly coming from considering how that scene is talked about in the fandom, I'm just like, wow, that's such a nuanced take, and it's from a fictional character. Those three knew that more than anyone else. Basically, he's saying none of them were fully wrong or right. They just had differing opinions. And it's fun and sweet that he says the only thing that the King of Knights lacked compared to the other kings was that she simply had a softer voice in comparison to the others. Basically saying, yeah, she didn't really lack anything as a king in comparison to the other two. that's what gets him to ask Ayaka again if she wants to be his master. And we don't see it. But, you know, she obviously says yes. Because they both now experience so much and have been changed by the other. Even though Richard doesn't believe so. He believes she always was strong from the beginning. And there's definitely, you know, a reason to believe that. But I think she more so had the potential to be strong. But he finally found that, yeah, it doesn't matter what your wish is for the Holy Grail. If you're here, you have the right to fight for it as much as anyone else that was summoned. All of this, even if the King of Conquerors shows his anger, even if the King of Heroes scoffs, I affirm her chivalry. The building of her ideals, even if it means nullifying all which her subjects accomplished. Man. I really wish Artoria could hear this. Because she felt so alone in believing that, you know, it was like, you know, yeah, of course you'd feel guilt and regret, especially with the way that her life ended. Like, it's more than valid that you want to undo all of that. Even if she still accomplished great things alongside her subjects. At the end, everything that she could see was the fire, all the dead bodies lying around. Her own son having been the one to kill her. So yeah. But yeah, he finishes this by saying, such tyranny is further proof of a king. So he's like, yeah, that's totally valid. And it's tyrannical. But that's what a king is. Which I don't think Artoria... Well, I don't know if Artoria would agree. That wanting to undo her rulehood, her period of being king, is tyrannical. After all, it's a unilateral decision that she's made, specifically to satisfy her own wishes first and foremost, despite what anyone else would believe. Because after all, we know that the Round Table of Knights, mainly Lancelot, wouldn't want her to undo all of that. It's, you know, Artoria as a king is such a contradiction in regards to, like, yeah, she was great, but she was too great. And that's why people started to resent her. But yeah, I just love Richard's response to all of this. He wasn't a shallow fanboy, but he was someone who accepted everything about Artoria. And it's because he saw that, the person that he has admired the most in life and death had an extremely selfish wish during her time in the Holy Grail War. And it led to such destruction at the end of the day. That is the path that she chose by going with that wish. And as we go into Fate Stay Night, she learns and accepts that the Holy Grail War was never really going to grant her wish in a way that would be fulfilling or satisfying. So she's fine accepting things the way that they are. And she finds a master that is very much supportive of her the whole way through. And it's because of it that she can go back to her deathbed and find peace within it. But yeah, this was amazing. Like I said, I don't think I know who Sir Banfem is. I thought he sounded familiar, but the design doesn't ring any bells. So if he's from a NASAverse work that I just haven't experienced, then do let me know. But yeah, wow, really, this was quite the way to end what I'm guessing the first half of this series. Man, I feel like I didn't talk enough about Tsubaki, but I'm gonna leave that for whenever we get episode 14. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.